This is Adam Calloway at Cattle Chat Corner. I'm here with Bruce Holmquist. Mr. Holmquist, tell me a little bit about where you're from and what your operation looks like.
Well, I live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada, which is in Western Canada. We have a ranch northeast in that province. So we're in a lot different climate than what you folks have down here. I do also work for the Canadian Simmental Association. I'm the general manager there, but I'm an actual rancher and producer as well.
Tell me a little bit about the research project that you've got going.
Yeah, we have a very aggressive research project tied to genomic research, in which we're doing a lot of genotyping of basically the herd in Canada, going back to historical sires and dams, and then tying phenotypic research and data collection on progeny of those animals based on meat quality, relative feed intake, and fertility.
What do you hope to understand out of this project, and then what is the end result for the consumer?
Well, what we hope to accomplish is providing information and value and accuracy to some of the tools that we already have in place, such as our EPDs and our genetic evaluation, adding validity to that. In Canada especially, I think you guys are quite a bit further ahead down here. We've done a great job of researching ways to improve our management practices, be it through swath grazing or bale grazing or different alternatives, feedstuffs, things like that, and not enough work on identifying the genetics and changing that at the base level of genetic improvement for the industry itself.
One of the big themes that runs through NCBA is technology and the need for technology to feed a growing global population. Talk to me about the technologies that you use, and a little bit more specifically, and some other technologies you'd like to incorporate.
Well, I mean, it's getting to a point where just hold on and watch. I mean, the technology is there and it's so rapidly changing, and it's a challenge for not only producers, but for the breed associations, who really are the foundation of genetic improvement for the industry, to keep pace. There's so many things. We heard Dr. Catlett speak yesterday about, retina scans, things like that, and on the ID side of things, and the research that we do, everything hinges upon accurate identification of the animal and the genetics within it. That's why breed association need to take the lead. On the RFI work that we're doing, the relative feed intake research at the University of Guelph, of course, we use a feed measuring system similar to GrowSafe, and with that, we're getting some data there that will measure not exactly how much. It doesn't focus on the feed that they consume, but the feed difference between what you expect those genetics to consume. So you find the more effective or more efficient genetics within the breed base that can better utilize the feed. When we look at the corn pricing and our different feedstuffs, we're heavily influenced in Canada by your prices down here. When you guys have a drought, we ouch too. I mean, on the consumption side of corn, the ethanol mandate, things like that. So we have to definitely focus on finding a genetic base that is much more efficient than what we have now in the beef business, especially when you look at what the poultry and hog industries have done.
If you could tell the consumer base here in North America one thing about the agricultural industry as a whole, what would you say to them?
Well, first off, I hope they realize how fortunate they are to have as low price of food as what they have. A readily supply of it. You go to the supermarket and there's umpteen dozen different choices, and it's all safe and healthy and very reasonable price. When you look at other parts of the world, I do travel a lot internationally as well, and you go outside of North America and you come home and you feel pretty blessed when you look at the prices in the supermarket. The other thing too with that is that we are positioned to increase our production through different production practices and things that we have to learn to embrace as producers. But with the consumer side of things, especially on the beef side, we've seen a great amount of improvement of our quality. The consistency of it's getting better. But as producers, we also need to understand that it's good, but it can be improved upon even more.
Bruce Holmquist, thank you so much for stopping by Cattle Chat Corner. We appreciate it.